No, Sonny. I don't have the money.
You better not be screwing me, Tommy, because you know I'm not a man to be screwed with.
Wait, Sonny. You have my personal assurance that I'm gonna get you your money back, and the drugs, and I'm gonna mail you the dicks to those responsible. Tell you what we're gonna do. You're gonna find out who took our cocaine, and then I'm gonna kill them.
Just quick, come on!
You could go and check him out.
I will. And I'll be seeing you around.
Yeah, that's right. Go and walk away, you mug. I knock you spark out. Give me a drink. And where's that slut?
Wake up, Dormy. It's time for the tea party.
I've got one. Why is a raven like a writing desk? Oh dear, oh dear!
You must save Alice.
Wake up, Alice! Wake up!
Mom? Dad? Alice? Mom! Father?
I can't see!
Get out, Alice!
Save yourself, Alice! Get out of the house!
Poor dear. After all these years, maybe that old rabbit will bring her around.
Save us, Alice!
Welcome back to our live coverage of the Nocti Ascension Rites. We have a full day of team deathmatch for you. Malcolm, what do you think of this next matchup?
Anubis is a newcomer who's beaten the odds, not to mention some tough shooters, to get this far.
I understand his teammate has some experience in Leandry tournaments.
Sobek had potential, but he wasn't too popular and couldn't hold on to a sponsor. It's good to see him back on the circuit.
Of course, all eyes are on the center arena, where Socket and her partner Apophis are punishing their opponents. Let's get back to the action.
lost the match.
President Johnson.
Huh? So you're finally here.
You've been expecting me?
Your equipment, that skull suit, isn't exactly standard military issue.
Are you all right, sir?
Is this some kind of sick joke? I thought you came to kill me.
What?
I'm prepared to face the consequences of my betrayal.
What are you... What the...
You're a man?
What are you... What the...
You're a man? A man? A man? Man? I'm prepared to face the consequences of my betrayal.
President Johnson.
Your equipment.
President Johnson.
Is this some kind of sick joke? You're a man? Well, who are you?
Foxhound, sir. What the...
You're some kind of military issue. Sick joke.
You've been expecting me?
Foxhound? I see. Now things are starting to make a little sense. Huh. Switch over to nano-communication so nobody can listen in.
Yes, sir.
Education, I try, I have no patience to follow all the rules. Never found it quite so easy to be myself, they think I'm cheesy. Everyone thinks I am so uncool. I hate school, working 9 to 5 and you don't get paid. I hate school, I'd rather get a job making fries all day. I hate school, never liked history anyway. I hate school, nothing makes sense in what you say. I hate school, I
You made it!
Use it! Kill it, whatever it is!
Disaster report update. A massive earthquake has struck Capital City just after noon yesterday. The magnitude of the earthquake has not been confirmed, but Capital City has suffered extensive damage. Up to 2,000 people are missing or dead. The epicenter of the quake was Capital City itself.
a new mission for you, Fox.
It did it, Fox! The force field is down! It's safe for you to land! Slip me out!
Down, boys.
Do you have any last words you wish me to communicate to the princess before I kill her? I could have been immortal.
Then it's true. He was a traitor.
Take this. Return it to your father's treasure vault. Guard it well.
I owe you thanks. But why did you invent such a fantastic story? Do you think me a child, that I would believe such nonsense? I said I owe you thanks. You presume too much. Such a fantastic story. Do you think me a child, that I would believe such nonsense?
You're right. It was just a story.
Wait! I don't even know your name.
Just call me Kakulukia.
capture rising. Where's Abdullah? He's been hiding. Hijacking straight surprises. Flying down, blowing up high rises. 500 soldiers in disguises. Hope I can make it out with my life as fugitive hunter.
Possessed for the quest, bulletproof vest, shot to the chest, arrest, only the blessed, stress, the medicine, till it's time to leave the nest. All in your own in a new song, watch jump skills, sprinkle like the dome. Who must it be? Lay my path with spiritual being. Lead to the circle of a roller ring, they blink, here, take a drink. Sicker to the clink of the clamp line from the map, can't see the hand fingers on live. Got to move down in the little wind, stroking in the pimp in the middle of this fugitive style.
Here's your passport, Mr. Carter. Enjoy your stay in Moscow.
The peacenik perestroika happy president of the USSR meeting covertly with the CIA. This is definitely front page stuff.
You fool.
A rogue KGB leader? Exploding power plants, nuclear bombs? This is the scoop of the century!
Yes, we have a spy on the loose.
Damn. The Spetsnaz. I'd better take care of these guys. Wow, look what's here.
Mr. Carter, I know you can hear me.
I want his head.
Amazing.
Get him.
I'm just asking for trouble. Say cheese.
be destroyed with explosives.
Doesn't sound like a problem to me.
And it's worse than
battle raged at the end of the first tournament. Good versus evil, locked in mortal combat. The forces of Earthrealm were facing the greatest challenge. And they prevailed. The sorcerer, Shang Tsung, chose to run instead of accepting his defeat. Through a portal to Outworld, the horde of rogues escaped. The Thunder God assured the safety of his warriors. But the champion of Earthrealm and his most trusted ally were destined to take another path.
I gotta go and get some popcorn. I can't watch a movie without popcorn. You want me to get you some?
I'll pop you if you don't sit down and be quiet. Now shut up and watch this.
Hi, Lamont here. Listen up, y'all. I have big news. My vinyl collection has been stolen. They have been taken to Earth and are scattered around getting dirt on them and stuff. Even worse, they are being drained of their vital funk essence.
Whoa, that is messed up.
Your job is to go to Earth and get my vinyl collection back. You got it? You got to find my 12 sacred albums of funk. That's all you got to do. Then you can come on home. Now while you're down there, if you want, you can convert some of them Earthlings to the ways of funk. You know what I'm saying? Funkify the situation and bring them over to our side.
Yeah, now that's what I'm talking about.
Good luck, and may the funk be with y'all. Lamont out.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Oh, great. Don't tell me you're hearing voices now.
X-Men.
Nightcrawler. Colossus. Wolverine. Cyclops. Storm. Dazzler. Nothing moves the blob. Go and save the city.
can beat us with that overgrown knife?
Let's get him, boys.
Get ready, boys. He's coming.
Can't wait to get this boy strung up. Someone did a real job on it.
Mass supremacist bastards.
I'm a creeping up on you, boy. Scalp your mom and your daddy, too.
Not the face. This is bad karma, man.
Come on out! Let me hit him! Let me!
Some warriors look fierce, but are mild. Some seem timid, but are vicious. Look beyond appearances. Position yourself for the advantage. He will win who prepared himself. Waits to take the enemy unprepared.
Fiery Phoenix, Exile, Fierce Tiger, Iron Monk, Vapor, Master Sage, Jade Dragon.
have landed on Hoth and are moving in our direction.
And now, here they are, the most daredevil group of daffy drivers to ever whirl their wheels in the wacky races, competing for the title of World's Wackiest Racer. The cars are approaching the starting line. First is the Turbo Terrific, driven by Peter Perfect. Next is Rufus Roughcut and Sawtooth in the Buzz Wagon. Maneuvering for position is the Army Surplus Special. Right behind is the Anthill Mob in their Bulletproof Bomb. Then there's ingenious inventor Pat Pending in his Converter car. Oh, here's the lovely Penelope Pit Stop. Next, we have the Bouldermobile with the Slag Brothers Rock and Gravel. Lurching along is the Creepy Coupe with the Gruesome Twosome, and right on their tail is the Red Max. And there's the Arkansas Chug-a-Bug with Luke and Flubber Bear. Sneaking along last is that Mean Machine with those double-dealing do-batters, Dick Dastardly and his sidekick, Muttley.
Figaro, son qua, hey, Figaro, son qua, Figaro là, Figaro là, Figaro qua, Figaro là, Figaro su, Figaro giù, Figaro su, Figaro giù, pronto prontissimo, son quasi fulmine, sono i fantotum della città, della città, della città, della città, della città. Ah, bravo Figaro, bravo bravissimo, ah bravo Figaro, bravo bravissimo, fortunatissimo, fortunatissimo, fortunatissimo per verità. Ah bravo Figaro, bravo bravissimo, ah bravo Figaro, bravo bravissimo, a te fortuna, a te fortuna, a te fortuna non mancherà. Sono il factotum della città, sono il factotum della città, della città, della città, della città.
The elements are all in their proper places.
So the task is complete?
Yes, and the results are safely in my grasp, and soon, in yours.
Excellent. The long journey shall finally be complete. The quest, finished.
How do I know I can trust you?
Trust me?
Do you know who I am? The flayer of cows? The enchanter of Babylon? The left elbow of Ragnaros?
The Ice Princess?
I am.
Hey there, I'm Alex. I'm from Boston. Let me introduce you to my friends. This is Kurt. He's from Berlin. He likes all kinds of vehicles. We call him the driver. That's Derek. He's from Sydney. No one can escape his sight. We call him the sniper. That's me. I love action and explosions. They call me the loose cannon. That's John, my childhood friend. We call him the amateur. And this is our playground. John would like to be a sniper, but he couldn't kill a fly with a grenade. Derek always protects his own back. When he's in position, he'll draw enemies into a trap. He may not be the best when it comes to heavy fire, but give him a sniper rifle, and it's over. John's also trying really hard to be a driver.
Oh yeah, I'm coming, baby. Wow!
Kurt knows all the tricks. Block the road, no problem. He'll jump over you.
Help! There are 2 guys behind me.
No worries, Kurt. I'm near the jump. I'll help you out.
What are you waiting for, Derek?
Yeah, I see him. Got him.
Heading for the bridge. Help!
I've got your back. Look!
Dankeschön. See you all at the deck.
John! I'm coming, dude.
Far Cry instincts.
Looks like we're going to have our work cut out. It says the town's overrun with pests. Now that's what I call fast.
Are you also he who wanted a bronze tube, by chance?
Yeah. How much you want for it?
Make an offer.
Like what? Just any offer?
Yeah.
I don't know. 2 gold.
Well, be serious.
What's a serious amount?
Something reasonable. It's not important. Just hurry it up and name a price.
All right, Bob.
Boo.
14 gold.
Okay, sounds good.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, wait. I'll be right back. I just remembered I left my parrot in the oven.
Parrot?
Yeah.
What?
Zinrat.
Signa, you have the tribal necklaces.
What? No, I need your help.
Damn it!
I say we eat some edge.
That's a good idea.
It done me into shape, but I use trinket.
Get me the hell out of here!
Aha! Well, Mr. Zen Wrath, I just got back from the auction house and
Sorry.
Tiny man!
That's no man. That's a leprechaun.
Leprechaun? Well, hang him by his feet and beat him like a piñata till the gold falls out.
Huh?
Yeah, with this rainbow trout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Gold doesn't come from leprechauns.
It doesn't?
No. Gold comes from China.
Oh. I know, he's a goblin.
No, 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 oh, no. That's no goblin.
Propulsion to the front, ahead of those Yamahas. After that huge off at the Saxon ring, how about that one for size? Coming down Craner curves, a nasty crash.
Destroy that tank!
All right, Commander!
This is an outrage!
It all started that day I was smelting thorium in Tanaris.
Huh?
That's how I met Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Abraham Lincoln.
You guys want to join my guild?
So what's your guild called?
Knights of the Totally Awesome and Happy Making Friendly Time.
Oh. Sounds like a bunch of basement virgins to me. I think I'll pass.
Yeah, sorry, I think I'm gonna have to pass too.
But we're really freaking awesome. We have a bunch of high levels and we're really super friendly and we'll watch your dog and do your homework and we pay once a week and we're working on doing MC raids once we have more members than just me. And please stop me, I'm lonely. We give each other items all the freaking time and it's really beautiful and I feel like crying sometimes and it really does little to delay the inevitable onset of certain death. And the sun hurts my eyes when I go outside now because I never leave home. The fridge is full of pizza rolls. And I almost won something from the Mountain Dew Cup the other day, but I kept breaking my side like a bad spike. So what do you guys think? Are you gonna join? Are you gonna join?
Sorry, little fella. I'm already in a pretty big guild.
What's cooler than the Knights of the Totally Awesome and Happy Making Friendly Time?
Well, I don't really want to say. We're sort of a big deal. Maybe you've heard of us. Illegal Danish?
Illegal Danish?
Illegal Danish?
Illegal Danish!
Okay, fine. I'll talk. I'll tell you everything. I understand completely, sir. Yo!
Did I go too far? That's one little piggy who truly went wee all the way home.
Next up, This Is Hollywood crashes the reel-to-reel backlot where avant-garde director Werner Hanke is putting the finishing touches on his first major studio effort.
This is Hollywood.
Yeah, my picture is a voyage of self-discovery, you know, and reel-to-reel, they understand this. From the pre-production to the post, I am having a complete creative control of a script, and set, and cast, and crew. Here, I have all the tools to make my vision into the reality, you know?
Looks like it's lights, camera, attraction for the fabulous Werner Hanke and Reel-to-Reel Studios.
Now let's take an inside peek at his film, Happy on the Outside.
You can do it, Ruffles. Jane, I have something to tell you.
Yes, my darling.
I was born a mind.
Hey, you guys want to help me with something real fast?
What's up?
A friend of mine got dished by his pirate and needs me to summon out of a jam.
Sure, I'll help.
Well, let's get the selling portal going.
Well, follow me.
Chase him, please.
Alright, what's gonna happen here? I'm gonna bend space and time itself to open a portal to another far-off land in front of me.
Wow!
All you have to do is touch it when it opens up. And don't move. No one moves until it's summoned. Got it?
Okay, sounds easy.
You too, Short Round.
I got it.
Alright. Oh, God!
I thought we were done.
Okay.
Sorry.
We're still good.
I had to go.
All right, we're gonna do this again. One more time. Now remember, no moving. This is not rocket science, people.
Son of a... That's what I'm talking about.
Sit next to Mama.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know you want it. How about a little... Huh? What the... No.
Welcome to Ironforge.
Ironforge?
You want to join my guild?
I rule you.
What the hell is the matter with you people? You show a friendly gesture and everybody gets all angry.
Oh, Zenrat! Look out! Hey, how's it going? Out of the way! Coming through.
Hey, Dragon! Tell your mother her eggs were delicious.
His ass. I'm gonna kick his ass. His ass. Your ass. I'm gonna kick his ass. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna kick his ass.
Ha! Squeeze them, they're real. Nice dress!
Damn right, it's a nice dress. Brings up my girlish figure.
Duel!
I've got an axe.
I can't duel.
I'm a winner.
No shards. Gotta think of something fast.
What is these? You're getting an ass kicking.
No! I wanted to kill him.
Don't worry, you're next.
It's impossible. I'm in the sequel. Had enough?
I just got started.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn! Clapping's fun, isn't it? How about some popcorn?
Ooh, popcorn, how much?
Make me an offer.
I win? Arcanite Reaper!
Zenrat! Is that you?
Ha-ha! Winner! You all saw it.
Yo, what up, G? Let me tell you about MC. You ain't got no life, you ain't got no friends, and I know you want to spend your weekend with 40 people you don't know, and some guy named Puff telling you what to do.
Oh, hell yeah, that's me. Where do I sign up?
On the website.
Wow.
You can be a winner. We're MC Raiders.
We ain't got
I'm under fire! I'm hit! You'll pay for that.
The Solar are using cloaking suits to conceal themselves. I've modified my tricorder to emit tachyon bursts which temporarily reveal them.
And we blew up all their Phantom ships, so...
Right. So for a change, we might have the advantage over the Empire. The next time we go into battle.
Yourself. Uh-oh.
I'm Sam. Serious Sam.
Only cost you 50 gold. Cheaper twice the price. He finds you when you sleep, and when the daylight
Massive red hair used to drive me wild when she was younger.
Hooray!
So, what do we do now?
You go take care of the composite. I'm gonna go check with the coroner and see if he got anything from the body.
Okay. Catch you later.
Our flag is secure.
It was over. Now I can learn everything that Trask knew about what happened 10 years ago. Burn it. We'll start new.
Peter, I have all these things in my head, things I want to say, things I think as your father you'll need to hear. You're going to find that there are people in this world, people who you are going to look at and say, why is this person like this? I find myself surrounded by people who will do or say anything, just for the appearance that they are better than they are.
There were 3 survivors of the crash. They all reported seeing the same thing. One of the witnesses was my mother. She died in the ambulance.
Peter, you did good today.
Eddie needs to see this. It's about our parents.
Eddie's not here. He was gone before we showed up. We'll find him. We always do.
Mr. Trask, I have been looking forward to this.
Eddie? I can't believe.
You know what I can't believe? I can't believe that after all the things you did, all the things you made me do, that after all of that, all you got was 3 years in a golf course prison.
You can't do anything to me in here. The guards...
They aren't nearly well armed enough.
You want to talk about it?
I wouldn't know where to begin.
You can just ramble.
I'm okay.
I love you.
I know. It's just...
What?
Eddie, I mean. He's out there. And I don't know if I'm scared of him or for him.
But he's not here.
No.
I'm here.
Intruder alert, intruder alert.
Jericho. It's time to go home. The curse is lifted. Remember me.
This is just the beginning of the darkness we will bring.
not sure where they fell off.
Dead and colorblind. You will listen carefully. This is not to be taken lightly. The tablet has responded to you. It will be your burden. Many have taken this tablet, and they tried not to let go. It is the power of the writing. It seduces all who try to hold it. I have held it, but I can hold it no longer. You will start this journey where I started, where my father Atris started, where my great-grandmother Tiana started. You will end this journey here, when the tablet is released. What you still don't understand, you have failed to hear or don't need to know. Choose wisely in the end, for there will be no second chance.
Oranges and lemons, said the bells of St. Clement's. I owe you 5 farthings, said the bells of St. Martin's. When will you pay me, said the bells of...
What have you got?
Faint life signs. A couple of big ones, but nothing close.
Run it through the database.
What the hell happened?
Look, man, me and Williams were tracking this weird animal through the base, and we lost him in the storm.
My men are dying out there. I've seen firsthand what this infection is capable of.
Oh, you have no idea.
Let's skip this song and dance. Pierce is dead.
Time's up, little man.
Hey, 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 hey. Yo, like this, like that. Yo, let's do this.
Yeah, you gonna lose your teeth messing with me, you heard?
Are you ready? You can't stop me, son!
Who you think you dealing with, bitch?
Hey, yo, I'm built to smash you, partner. Now I'ma break your goddamn neck.
I'm gonna run right through you, chump.
Yeah, come here, baby. I got some sugar for you.
I'm that bitch. Remember that.
Oh my god, is that another gnome? Those little troublemakers are everywhere lately.
Tell me about it. Yesterday I ran across 3 of them outside the blacksmith shop. I mean, I literally ran across them. They're so friggin' wee, who could blame me? Turns out they're bleeders.
Oh, gross.
I know! I was scrubbing no-man trails out of my lightsaber's fur for weeks.
Mark my words, now that the gnomes have moved in, it's only a matter of time till the dwarfs show up. And you know what that means.
I sure do. Better hide my goblets right now with those bearded freaks who mistake 'em for dragon booty that's up for grabs.
Dwarfs smell like dragon booty, if you ask me.
It's wicked. Of course, gnomes aren't nearly as bad as gay gnomes.
Oh, don't get me started.
I never played Summoner, but I did play Red Faction. And my favorite part in that game is the moment where Hendrix and Parker meet face to face for the very first time.
My last job was in automotive. We sold discount parts for German and Japanese manufacturers.
I used to be a freelance designer of elevator restrictor systems.
I needed a change. I needed to pursue my dreams.
I think that moment spoke to me because our relationships are mediated and digitized through cell phones and email and internet. There's no intimacy, there's no connection.
The Sumner guys did this comedy routine where they were playing a fantasy role-playing game. It really cracked a lot of people up.
Now, you might not be familiar with restrictors because they work only when there's an emergency.
Yes, I was supposed to play the role of Dr. Capek in the original Red Faction, but the gentleman playing Iago suffered a cerebral aneurysm and needed surgery. So I ended up on Summoner instead.
An elevator restrictor keeps people inside the elevator when it breaks down, so they don't open the door, fall out, and die.
So, when I got hired to play the part of Morbizon, I was thrilled. You know, like it was my turn to make people laugh now. But it didn't happen.
The man made a full recovery, by the way. God bless him, but now I'm stuck in this dead-end role.
So I got on the bus, went out to Illinois, and knocked on the door of Volition Incorporated and said, "Here I am."
They were like, well, if we can't be funny like the first one, we're not even gonna try.
In Red Faction, there's this real sense of communion, and I don't think video games do that often enough.
Now, Brian Farrell, he's the head honcho over there at THQ. He promised me a good part in Red Faction 2.
The first lesson I learned in my own recovery is that you don't give up. You take it one day at a time, and you don't give up.
A villain with a bazooka and some sharp knives. Yes, we'll see. I'm not holding my breath.
Now, don't get me wrong, elevators are very safe, but you want to have systems in place that will keep people from getting hurt.
I paid my dues. I plunged toilets and washed dishes and made coffee. Because these people are basically mama's boys who can't do a bloody thing for themselves.
I can only hope that Summoner 2 will speak to people in the same way.
Bring us in close, Chandra.
Doc Zero, this is point forward. I'm in. Stay out of the club. Use your gun only as a last resort. Keep your head down.
Sure. Chandra, let's do this.
Everything's in the green. Keep it that way, all right?
Hit the ground running, kid.
In the beginning here, when we have the tombstones, we wanted to give this foreshadowing of there's a much deeper theme that becomes unveiled over time. So in a classic Oddworld way, we wanted it to sort of be lighthearted on one hand, and with comedic value. And the reason we do that is because the themes are actually so dark and dismal that if they're not lightened up, they could be taken too seriously. Then we show these desperate people who can't even, make ends meet any longer. And we designed them a little phallic looking too, so that they had again, a little bit of a, I can't take this too seriously quality. And the idea was to plant this theme in as a backdrop, and then we introduced the character of the hero, who's the stranger, and his plight with the outlaws and how he baits and traps these guys. And so from this point on, you'll be playing the game for many, many hours before you ever see that native culture that's in a desperate situation again. And we thought that was a nice way to sort of introduce something that's coming, then allow you to get into the game, start playing with some of the mechanics that are shown in this opening film, and then when it comes back to you in the game, that you start to find these desperate people, the relationship to the stranger, and how all that unfolds. It'd be like, oh, those are the guys I saw in the beginning. Wait a minute, there's a larger theme unfolding here. We also wanted to get in all of the idea of how some of these live ammo approaches would work, and also Stranger's Lope, his high-speed run, and how he could use that to bait enemies into positions. So we used the spider in the opening movie, the spider bullet. We used the fuzzles as a trap, and we also show the idea of how you're bountying guys alive. And so part of the challenge, I think, is always at Oddworld, we're always trying to show not just the story to involve you in the gameplay, but to show you what's happening with mechanics that are in the game and try to make them more cinematic and interconnect that in the story so it's really highly designed and interwoven. And hopefully, if we do that successfully, then you have an idea of how to play, as well as feeling very informed about what the game's going to be about. And then you start off hopefully knowing more about the theme, the plot, the central character, as well as have some ideas as to how it plays. And I think that's always a challenge, but it's something we always try to do, and hopefully successfully. Here we are on the first Abe's Odyssey opening movie, and this was really the first thing people ever saw from Oddworld. What we were after this sense of like third world laborers that were really just being completely absorbed by mega global corporations. And yet we wanted to do this with a sense of irony and humor. And these were some of the themes that inspired us. And what we wanted to do was even take the idea of these mega corporations and how they related to food and third world labor and things of this nature, and turn it into something digestible that was fun. And a lot of the influence for the designs, like if you look at this, the meat processing plant of Rupture Farms, we were after sort of an industrial revolution look, but also that felt menacing in the way that looking at nuclear silos feels menacing, that it felt like power plants.
That's me. My name is Abe. I was Employee of the Year.
Here we have Abe walking up to the advertisements of the products that they make. His race and his ancestry and his culture had a relationship to these creatures that was like the Native Americans and buffalo. And yet here, he's looking at paramite pies and going, you know, yum, and describing Rupture Farms as this is Rupture Farms. And, you know, he was kind of depressed because we started this game at the end and made you unfold the story to find out how he got there. And then depending on how you got there or got him there, altered his fate. And what he didn't realize was that there was a world outside of this factory. And to a lot of degree, that's how a lot of us feel today. You know, our lives are being absorbed by so much work. And it's, oddly enough, you know, at Oddworld, we just are working all the time, trying to bring experiences that are about how bizarre it is that our world has been consumed by work and we're not really living as much anymore.
It was us. I just had to escape. I just had to be free. And I didn't even know I had a destiny. I had just got past those slugs when the strangest thing I saw. A big moon was before me, and its face was my paw. Then I fell.
Now, one of my favorite artists was Picasso. In the beginning of Cubism, from his intent, was largely about recognizing how man was becoming less of an individual being and more of a gear in a wheel in a factory. It wasn't the guy out, you know, harvesting his crops anymore. It was just the guy pulling a lever over and over and over. And his faces of his characters became more structured and angled, and his landscapes became more geometric because he was saying the rolling hills were going away and the factories were replacing all this, and the basic shape of the landscape was becoming more cubic and angled. And so his characters did well because he was saying our people today are becoming more mechanized. They're becoming the machine. And in a lot of ways, I feel similar about the world. And with all the conversations we would have at Oddworld about how we were going to approach the design, we wanted this feeling that these characters were cogs in that machine world. They were becoming mechanized.
My test was completed. I expected to rest. Then the big face revealed the intent of my quest. With two scars together on the back of each hand, they could shut down Rupture Farms and restore the lost land. With hand scars complete, the spirits took form. Now my chant had power. Rupture Farms should be warned. Yeah. I'd found the switch to kill most of the power. And there I was, in the final hour.
Now here we are with Munch's Odyssey. It's kind of devastating to me that we never manifest Munch in his full glory, which was he was a Jekyll and Hyde type of character. But beyond that, game production is full of failures and lessons. And we were a little ambitious in what we tried to achieve, and as a result, we didn't achieve as much as we wanted. And what we wanted to do with Munch was we wanted to create this sensibility that we had a character who's the last of his kind. And we show a little flashback here where you see what happened to the rest of his kind, and now he's alone. And that sense of loneliness, we hoped, was something that made you more empathetic to who the character was and the condition that was coming. And much like Abe, he embodied a sense of naivety. And he's kind of, the face only a mother could love. I mean, he's this bizarre-looking guy. And in the process of it, like in this ocean scene, the sense was desolation, emotional desolation. Like, how do we really, middle of the huge lake, like the Great Lakes, and no one around, and he's trying to find his own kind, and he's calling to them, and eventually he gets this huge, burst of energy because he gets a response that suggests he's not alone. There's another of his kind. And this was kind of the idea of mass marketing, in a consumer-driven society that's kind of leading you to your doom. And, like cigarette ads or something. So Munch is hearing this response, and ultimately it's a trap. And it's a trap for gabbets. And Munch is a gabbet. And it was this idea of sort of reckless commercialism, reckless industry that is really looking out for itself and its shareholders, but nothing else. And so this was kind of inspired by the idea of animal rights and what's really going on. I mean, if people really knew what was going on with some of the subject matter in the real world, they'd just be appalled. So we live in a society that really is in denial. It can't face a lot of the realities of the darker side of what makes our lifestyles so convenient and comfortable, because if we knew, they're too disturbing. And part of what we wanted to do was show it from the perspective of the people at the bottom of the food chain.
Well, then what happened?
They took him away to Viker's labs.
Oh, Viker's labs? Poor little schmuck.
So you see, Stitch Lips, if you want to find your brothers, you've got to rescue Munch from Viker's labs.
Yeah, but how?
I don't know. You got me.
Find the big well, and then...
Of course, the almighty Raisin has a condition where he falls asleep all the time. And Abe's usually, even though he's trying to do well, his peers are like,
Abe, you're just such a schmuck, man.
So they're always dissing him in different ways. And, and then we introduced the Vikers. And the Vikers sort of represented Nazi scientists, of which there are many in the world still today in different shapes and forms that really believe in the religion of science, and at the expense of anything else, fine, as long as they're able to further their patents and their copyrights and their wealth and their achievements. And they don't care who gets screwed over in the process. And we were kind of inspired by that theme to design these characters that were just really bizarre and out for their own interest and insensitive to other people's interests. So a lot of what we were trying to achieve at Oddworld was sort of create these characters that would be archetypes of a mind state, of sort of a spiritual mind state of different personalities that we find in the world. And we can say, well, that's the, corporate backstabbing career climber. And we those of us that live in corporate environments, we sort of understand what that means right away. What we try to do is take some of those personality traits that we find in this world and come up with these sort of bizarre designs that seem to be a distilled concoction of what that energy might look like if it were its own species. So we're really trying to take sort of archetypal personalities and behaviorisms and turn them into their own species so that they distinguish what their interests are, and maybe create a world that's more highly reflective of our own in an ironic, satirical, funny way. And then if we can start playing off of those themes, then we thought that would resonate deeper and maybe give deeper emotional connections to the characters, to our heroes.
In its head. But do you stop to think why I'm sticking sonar in its head?
Sonar?
Think of all those long nights. Us pulling critters out of cages. And finding them takes ages. What's that got to do with you? Just shut up!
Soda and partner.
This is Necrum. Long ago, the Budakans brought their dead here. That was before the Gluckans started stealing our bones.
This is the beginning of his discovery of the world that once was, and a deeper understanding, and really the passage in the classic Joseph Campbell's hero's journey. This is his step into the other side. This is his step into the unknown that awakens something in him that has been dormant. And the idea for us is that we all have this awakening that can occur in us, and when it happens, we're changed forever. We never see the world quite the same. And we all know someone that in whatever way, shape, or form this has happened to, whether a pet died or they were in a horrible car accident. And I remember the story of George Lucas being in a horrible car accident, and it's what was the main catalyst for his pursuit of becoming a filmmaker to the degree that he did. So these events happen, and they happen in ordinary lives, and that's what was important to us, was Abe, who every time we show Abe, you know, we just wanted this schmuck guy who's looking at it like, I don't know what's going on, you know, and he's just trying to figure it out, you know. He's just kind of representing the naivety in all of us. And if we did that successfully, this little chump could become a hero. And even though he's kind of clueless, his heart is always in the right place. And that was the idea, that we create a character whose integrity at the core of their soul was unshakable. And even though they were naive, uneducated, and ignorant, it didn't mean that they couldn't be something great.
At first, the Gluckans gave their brew away. Oh, tasty. But once the Budakans started drinking it, they couldn't stop. Then those Gluckans told them that if they wanted to work, they could have all the brew they wanted.
Only if you got a job.
They fell for it.
Step right up. Oh, I love his job. Step right up.
So now, the weirdos want me to destroy the brewery, but I gotta save the Budakans there first.
Hey! That bastard Abe's here! I demand to know who is at fault here! You're not pinning it on me!
I'm telling you, it's that Abe guy. Sell, dump it, lose it, get rid of me. I work hard, I work hard.
Well, if it gets to the boiler!
The boiler?
The boiler?
What are we going to do?
The boiler!
What are we going to do?
Yeah.
Where's ground pants? I need some pants.
It's not fair! We had twice! He fled out!
It became, for us, an icon of that idea of being the most of what you can be, even though you're in the worst possible position and you're the weakest guy in the weakest way. That even if that's who you are in this lot in life, stitched lips, you know, it's very strange looking, your friends against you, all these things, it doesn't mean you can't become something more. And to us, we felt like video games were a medium of expression waiting to become more like film or novels, where the stories took on a more interesting trait, not just to carry the gameplay, but because maybe there was more contemplative ideas in there that were inspiring. And ultimately, as storytellers and game designers, and as storytelling and game design continues to merge, maybe the content will become more and more inspiring. Not just that you're victorious, but that you're something more, that you learn something from it in a way that makes you feel empowered to take on your own risks in life. And in many ways, that's what Abe was all about.
But we knew there had to be more of us out there.
We're screwed.
And we were gonna find them.
We interrupt this program to bring you this special news bulletin. Rumor Control reports that Abe, the mastermind behind the destruction of Rupture Farms, is also behind the Soulstorm Brewery atrocity.
I hate that guy!
Stay tuned for more on this story as it develops. This message brought to you by...
Need a late night snack? Try barbed wire biscuit. A mouthful of mashed up mayhem.
What?
Blow stuff up and learn about science with Brainiac.
Is looking at women's breasts a workout?
Get sick and twisted with the Happy Tree Friends and Friends.
Where's that coming from?
And sample the best eye candy from Japan with Anime Unleashed and Cinematech Nocturnal Emissions. Taste the party. Barbed wire biscuit. Tonight at midnight.
Rating. This is all. Why do we all?
Protective system for use in hazardous environment conditions. High impact reactive.
Right on, sir. Looks like you're in the barrel today.
As mentioned in the briefing, this is a top-secret mission. All IFF code transmitters will be switched off, and under no circumstances will you receive backup from this vessel. You'll have to manage your descent and return on your own.
っていくのか。ところでたまるか。なんなんだよこいつは。
来て。
ドル言語はあの宇宙海賊のドル言語は。
思った通りだ。潜在能力は私をしのぐ。
しかし砂漠の爪がこんな小僧とはな。俺いつかこの星のみんなを救ってみせる。この星を出て宇宙に行ってみたいんだ。いろんなものを見て広い銀河のことをもっと知りたい。
Brought to you by Mountain.
The time has come. For centuries, the legions of darkness have gathered their forces for this very moment. They are waiting for him. They are praying for him. Fate has chosen a young apprentice. May all your talents help you to stop him, because he is the Dark Messiah.
エンディングまで泣くんじゃない。名作保証マザーついに大完成。
All enemies destroy. It's true. You really are as good as they say.
There is an evil.
Okay, we're finally here. We need to kill this wolf. He's gonna drop these very good boots that I need, but we'll all roll on it. I'll be healing you guys.
I'll hold the aggro.
Yeah, you...
Use blessing of light.
Okay, and take up the healing when I run out of mana.
Alright, gotcha.
Should be. Okay, here it comes. Let's go.
Whoa, let's go!
Okay, everyone fast. Instead of using the normal system of looting Blizzard implemented, we're gonna roll our own, so everyone start rolling random.
Alright.
Okay. Hello, we're waiting.
What's going on?
Oh my god!
Dude!
You
Oh my god. Oh god. Oh my god. What's he doing? What?
He hearthed.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I'm gonna get him.
Kidding me?
I'm gonna get him.
Oh.
I'm gonna kill you.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go to your house and kill you. I want those boots, man. Not cool.
Gordon Freeman in the flesh. Or rather, in the hazard suit. I took the liberty of relieving you of your weapons. Most of them were government property. As for the suit, I think you've earned it. The border world, then, is in our control for the time being, thanks to you. Quite a nasty piece of work you managed over there. I am impressed.
No, Sonny. I don't have the money.
You better not be screwing me, Tommy, because you know I'm not a man to be screwed with.
Wait, Sonny. You have my personal assurance that I'm going to get you your money back, and the drugs, and I'm going to mail you the dicks of those responsible.
Safest of all, I can lock on my doors. It's the only way to live in cars. Here in my car, I can only receive. I can listen to you. It keeps me stable before I die in cars.
Okay, you go. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. You're gonna find out who took our cocaine, and then we're gonna kill them. Come on.